Have you ever imagined walking through a completely isolated farm, surrounded by tall grass, broken fences, and decaying barns, when suddenly you hear footsteps behind you, but when you turn around, no one is there? And what if I told you that there are places like this, where not even time had the courage to stay? Today, you'll uncover the most disturbing stories about guardian spirits and the hauntings that surround abandoned farms. And if you think these are just legends, you might want to think twice. Stay with me until the end, if you dare. There's a reason why old farms, hidden deep in the middle of nowhere, are wrapped in so much mystery. They aren't just empty structures left behind by time. They are silent witnesses of decades, sometimes centuries, of stories. Some filled with joy, but many marked by tragedy, loss, rituals, and events that defy all logic. Imagine a place where silence doesn't mean peace, but a warning. Where the wind carries voices that shouldn't exist. Where every creak of the wood, every slam of a door, or every shadow on the wall feels like something is watching. These places are real, and what you're about to hear might make you think twice before stepping foot on any forgotten farm. There's a particular farm in a long-forgotten village where locals swear that every single night a mysterious figure patrols the land. They describe him as a tall man, wearing a wide-brimmed hat, leather boots, and old spurs that drag across the dirt, always riding a black horse. The sound of those spurs echoes in the silence of the night, often followed by the strong smell of tobacco, even though no one is around. People who approach the property report hearing footsteps moving around the fields, doors slamming shut, and branches snapping, as if someone or something is watching them from the darkness. The elders say this spirit belongs to a cowboy who, before dying, made a vow to protect his land forever. The reason? They say he lost everything when outsiders tried to steal his property, and even after death, his soul refuses to let strangers come near. Strangely, whenever someone tries to invade this farm, things happen. Tires mysteriously puncture, people trip without explanation, sudden panic attacks, and sometimes even serious accidents. The question is this spirit a guardian or a curse? Then there's a farm where time itself seems to have simply stopped. An old wooden house with broken windows and doors that creak with the wind. Over 80 years ago, an entire family disappeared from that house. No trace, no explanation. Ever since then, no one has managed to live there for more than a few days. People brave enough to get close say they hear voices coming from inside, disconnected conversations, children laughing, and sometimes, late at night, desperate crying that echoes through the walls, as if something or someone is trapped between this world and something else. Urban explorers who dared to film inside captured disturbing footage. Shadows quickly passing by the windows, strange lights flickering for mere seconds, and doors slamming violently, even when the air is completely still. Some stories tell that in the weeks leading up to the family's disappearance, strange things were already happening. Animals vanishing, voices whispering their names at night, objects disappearing and reappearing in impossible places. During a recent exploration, a group found old journals hidden beneath the kitchen floorboards. Inside were desperate writings, protective spells, strange symbols carved into doors, and frantic prayers. It's clear the family knew something was coming. To this day, those who pass by say they can see, staring out the second-floor window, the figure of a woman with long dark hair, watching anyone brave enough to approach, as if she's still waiting for someone or something. But if you think that's terrifying, wait until you hear about the farm that simply refuses to accept new owners. This property has been passed from person to person, everyone trying in some way to make it livable again. Farming, livestock, turning it into a guest ranch. Nothing lasts longer than a few weeks. Workers abandon the property in the middle of the night. They say sleeping there is impossible. Constant whispers, footsteps from the attic, doors locking by themselves, and the worst of all, a female figure slowly crossing the barn. A woman in a long white dress, gliding silently, but her face is never visible. Local legends say that long before the farm was ever built, that land was used for rituals, dark rituals involving animal sacrifices, protection circles, and summoning ceremonies. During a recent renovation, workers found strange symbols hidden inside the walls, drawings made from what looked like charcoal, and blood, covered by layers of paint and wooden planks. Right after that discovery, the activity intensified. Shadows crawling across the floor, objects flying across rooms, flashlights dying suddenly, and the constant undeniable feeling of being watched, like dozens of invisible eyes following your every step. Neighbors swear that every time someone tries to clean, rebuild, or sell the property, something happens. Strange accidents, fires without cause, sudden mental breakdowns, and in some cases, animals and even people disappearing and never being seen again. Is it the land itself that's cursed? Or is there something that simply refuses to let the living stay? Now, I want you to think about this. Are these just legends passed down through generations? Stories made up by superstitious villagers? Or are they warnings that there are places where the laws of our world simply do not apply? Places where what's dead never truly rests. And now, I ask you, while looking directly into your eyes, if you were walking down a dirt road and you saw in the distance an old farm with broken fences, a rusty gate swinging in the wind, would you have the courage to step through that gate? If you love stories like this, subscribe right now, turn on the notifications, and comment below. I heard the voices. That's how I'll know that you stayed until the end and that you're brave enough to face the next legend. See you soon, if you survive. Until then, sound of an old door slowly closing, followed by complete silence.